guys were starting off with Kendra's song.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, and I was checking you guys' mic while you guys were talking.
Do you sing? You said
I
Chinese?
speak in Chinese.
Do you sing?
No.
Did you sing?
No.
It's Chinese.
There was a noise from somewhere deep. We heard the sound, it was bittersweet. Voices calling out from an aching heart, getting so much closer by staying apart, singing a song of hope and love that you heard when I heard. I feel what you feel. We will survive. We will stay strong. Love is the word, and hope is the song. The streets are empty, but the sky is clear. You want somebody and can't have them near. Taking shelter where you can when the world is at stake. Alone together, trying hard not to break. Singing a song of hope and love that will heal. You heard when I heard. I feel what you feel. We will survive. We will stay strong. Love is the word, and hope is the song. Song for the lonely, the tired and the weary. A song for the broken, the mighty. Can you hear me? Get beyond our pride and greed. Share everything that we need. We won't be ignored. We will be restored. Singing song of hope and love that will heal. You heard when I heard. I feel what you feel. We will survive. We will stay strong. 'Cause love is the word, and hope is the song.
Thank you for listening to the morning show. As I go now to fill my mug, which is completely empty, I'm coffee out.
Your cup runneth over.
No, company dry.
Have a great morning, everyone. Stay safe. Be kind.
Good morning, South Florida, and welcome to the breakfast at the Brooklyn Café TV.
Take a deep breath and a good whiff of that coffee brewing. Grab yourself some toast, a donut, or any breakfast. As Dawn and Freddie get you up and ready for the rest of your day.
So I grabbed myself and called 888-994-4995 to share a tip of the day.
Or just to say good morning.
So get ready for the time of your life.
Shake off your sleepies, buckle up, because it's showtime.
And thank you for listening to the show. Oh, wait a minute. That was closed? I'm totally confused. Was it the open?
Did you enjoy the show today?
It was very
Nice
fast.
show, guys.
It was extremely quickly.
How you doing?
I'm doing good.
How was today? Thursday. Happy Thursday, everyone.
Welcome, welcome, welcome to the morning show with the morning crew, with the brew crew. Now, I was asked yesterday why brew crew, and normally brew means beer.
Brew means you brew a pot of coffee.
No, brew means beer. The brew
What do you do to
crew.
coffee?
Milwaukee Brewers are not coffee drinkers.
But don't
they're
you brew
drinkers
coffee?
Of baseball. I mean of.
Like he brews?
No, that's in the
Boom,
Bible.
boom.
I
Exactly.
know they used that line on me one day, and I got suckered into making coffee for everybody. But no, the Milwaukee Brewers are where they make the Milwaukee Brewer beer, the beer company.
Yeah.
Brew is beer,
Mm-hmm.
right? You know that, right? No, you don't know that. Wow, this is like a giant gap.
Sense now.
Oh, you didn't know that before? You didn't know that before?
Be scared when Val says it makes sense.
Slick, you gotta help me here, Slick.
Yeah, I heard it.
You've heard it before, right?
Yeah.
You know, you are the great divide.
Me?
Yes, you are the divide between their ages and our
The
ages.
Great Divide.
Yes, the great divide.
He goes in this morning dancing to J-Lo.
Yes, and I have to play it loud because the speakers go quiet if you don't play
That's
it
what
loud.
you gotta do. You gotta do what you
interesting.
gotta do.
Interesting song you picked. Anyway, I wanted to get real quick on a certain subject matter. You know those things that come out and make a noise?
What thing?
Those creantus?
Crickets?
Not crickets.
I know what you mean. Yes.
I know.
17 years they come out. Now it's the 17th years. They came out, last they came out was when Bush was president. They come out every 17 years.
Casitas.
The what?
Casitas?
It is the
Casitas?
time
Something like
of
that.
casitas.
That's not the right word, but it's something like that.
Chintanto, what difference does it
Something
make?
like that.
It's a bug.
Let us know what the
It's
bug's
in the
name is.
ground for 17 years, and now it's come up.
Again?
They come out. It's a lobby for
Let's look
17.
it up. Let's look at
Look
what
it up.
bugs come up every 17
It's only
years.
located in the
Something to
eastern
do.
coast of the United States of America, only in the world, and they're on a casitas alert.
It's not. It's not something like that. I forget
Sounds
what it
like
is.
that.
It's like chinchis. Chinchis?
Chinchiliso.
Something.
It doesn't
I
matter.
don't know.
But these things come out. Now, they are called the love bug. All they do, the males are the ones that make the
Oh, you
horrific
mean the love
noise.
bugs or the ones that make the
No,
noises?
no, the
Love
cachitas,
bugs.
the cachitas, the
Really?
chinchantos, whatever those freaking things are.
They're, yeah.
Oh
they
my
squeak
God. They
and
make that
squeak.
horrible
That's their
noise.
mating sound.
They mate and then they drop dead. They come and go, as they say.
Okay.
What?
Shenkas?
Yes.
Cincas?
Yeah, Cinco de Mayo too. Happy birthday. But those things come out now. And they are known as they only mate
Adult Broad X. Which come out only every...
17 years. It's the 17
Slick, read this.
it's a 17-year
Oh
bug.
my God, I am so sorry.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Crocker
They
Barrel's
just-
in the house.
He just broke that phone into like a
No, it's
gazillion
good. The
billion
phone's good. The phone's good. I swear I grabbed it. But periodical
Periodically?
So the one that
Wait, we're
can't.
gonna pass the
So the
phone
one that
around.
can't read,
we're
give it
gonna
to the
have a
one
phone
who
around.
definitely
It said
cannot read.
periodical
You read it.
syndromes, yeah.
Maybe you can read it for us.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah. See?
Don't be afraid or annoyed of the coming periodical cicadas.
Cicadas.
Cicadas. I also can't read very well. There's that.
Cicadas.
It's a
called
once in a
cicada.
17-year chance to enjoy a wondrous natural phenomenon. Adult Broad and the Cicincinda, whatever,
Yeah.
which came out only once every 17 years on a wooden fence in Maryland in 2004. They only come out they come out on
Cicadas.
fences, I guess.
It's on cicadas. No, they're on trees
There are
everywhere.
trillions of them.
Trillions. And they all come on at once.
We
That's
could dip them
terrifying.
in chocolate and make ice cream.
And people dip them in chocolate and they eat them. Yes, that's another
Crickets,
one. There's a
yeah.
whole
Terrible.
cookbook on cicadas.
That's
It's because they have a lot of protein, probably.
I was going to say that sounds
Well,
like
anything with
Taylor, it's new Cold Stone flavor.
anything with orange, anything with orange eyes
Hard
on
pass.
hard passing is right.
Yes.
But this lady and guy, this couple, were getting married last year at this time, and they had to postpone it because of the virus. And now they are going to get married July 1st, and now they have the cicadas problem. So now they put in this ad or something so that they can fly them out of the east and maybe to the central state or California, which will probably be on
Well, that
fire.
would be everything where we are.
Why don't they just get married inside?
Because they
When
wanted to
they're-
have an outside wedding.
Well, they can get married inside.
Well, but that after not having it last year, they believe that they should get what they want.
But I feel like it would be more of a logical.
I know,
Okay,
I know.
they definitely should just get married inside.
Or just
Okay.
wait.
I'm going to give you their number, and you can
that's
tell
okay.
them that, and
That's
they're going to
okay.
tell you, listen, we had to wait a year, so. But they were assured that by July 1st they'll be gone. I don't think so, because when I lived in the Bronx, those bad boys were with me the whole
You
summer.
have them in the Northeast too?
Oh yeah, they're everywhere.
You know what happens when you go to Disney World? Anyone drive Disney World in the summer and they all get stuck on your car, the love bugs, and they mate and
That's
they
a different-
smash.
that's
Those
a
are the love
different
bugs.
animal.
That's all year round.
All
Those
year
are
round.
this big.
The little black ones?
Yes, the cicadas are like giant
They
crickets. They're huge. They're about that
Ever
big.
seen them?
Yeah.
Again, dip them in chocolate.
Yeah, you could.
Nasty.
People dip them in chocolate and they eat them.
Would you
Now-
eat anything dipped in chocolate?
Except a cicada. No.
An ant?
Hell
A
no.
grasshopper?
No. And I had to eat ants in high school on a bet. And they crunch.
Yes.
And they're disgusting. I threw up like 3 days.
Ever put chips on your sandwich?
It's like that.
So same type of crunch.
Oh, no. Potato chips. Potato chips and a tuna fish sandwich work. I learned that from the icon.
I gotta tell you, no one crunches better than Cracker Barrel.
What do you mean?
What do you mean, her
could
phone?
do the most amazing crunch commercial. Because when you eat food,
Oh.
you crunch like she makes food sound good when she eats.
How do you make food sound good?
You know, because she eats food, she doesn't take it apart like I do. So there's like no crunch. There's really
I
no
gotta
bite,
admit, you're
there's no
very
nothing.
adventurous when it comes to
Taking
food.
food apart.
No, she's adventurous. She's not, she's not all cut up on.
Cracker
caught
Barrel,
up.
no, and she like crunches. She makes food sound good.
She makes food sound good. That's a new one.
Remember Crunchy? We had that line of makeup we did, and we had the crunch bags, right? It's sound when you're doing commercials
That
and
was so funny.
voiceover.
We put the potato chips inside the bag, the crunch. That was good.
A lot of things.
But it's funny because with Cracker Barrel, you never know. She's like the toy prize in the Cracker Jacks.
That is true, actually.
You never know what you're gonna get.
That is true.
She doesn't even know what she's
I
gonna get.
tripped over all of them yesterday, Taylor. I tripped. I did such a vow. I tripped over Mother Teresa's bag.
She has never tripped on people.
I fell on top of Mother Teresa
Don't
and
let her
landed
say
on
you
Bianca and the vacuum
You tripped
all in
on
one
people?
fell swoop.
She tripped on people.
I trip on the dog every day. The dog's literally in my feet every
Wait, then he
morning.
That's the
deserves
dog's
it.
fault. That irritates me so much when doggies do that.
I have a cat that does that.
The poor dog.
Poor cat. I kicked it. It went, "Wow!" But I didn't see him. I mean, he runs at my feet, and he's big.
You got that big cat.
Oh God, he's got to go. Anybody want a cat?
So what you got going on today, Batman?
We got a lot of stuff going on today. We have the transatlantic show with Nikki today. I think that our Brazilian show is going on today,
I
no?
think you're right about that too.
Thursday, right?
Yep. You speak Portuguese? No, you don't. You speak Spanish.
No, I wish I spoke Portuguese. It's
You
pretty
speak
cool.
Japanese. It's the same difference.
It's not. I don't speak Japanese. Actually, I do know how to
Chinese.
say hello in Japanese, though.
She
Do you?
speaks Mandarin.
Arigato. That's actually thank you. Shoot. Wait.
Isn't Mandarin like an international language of?
How'd
of
you
the
learn
island?
Mandarin?
So in my high school, in my middle school, we had to pick French, Spanish, Chinese, or Latin. And I already spoke Spanish. My mom already spoke French, and she said, "Well, those are too similar. Why don't you take Chinese?" And technically, if I've actually read this in a study, if an alien were to land anywhere in the world, the person they are most likely to meet is a male who is Chinese with brown hair and brown eyes. And there's like 1.2 billion people in China, so it's like, why not learn that language? And it's like, I already know Spanish. I could learn French from my mom, I guess, if I wanted to. And I just thought it was a really interesting language. And I love the culture. I love Chinese culture. Chinese and Japanese and Korean culture. It's otherworldly. It's so freaking cool. And I like learning a lot about
So
it.
let me get this straight. You are preparing for an alien that's going to meet
Of
a
course.
Chinaman in China,
Yes.
and you want to be able to have a dialogue with those people.
Well, yeah. I mean, like, it's
Is
also...
that what you're telling me?
Pretty much.
Taylor, meet Bianca.
Hey.
Wow.
Have you guys met?
No.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Wow.
Yo.
Wow.
It's a whole nother level.
Anyway, so what do we got cooking? We have that. I spoke to Captain Tiny yesterday. I asked him if an opportunity came up, and he totally misunderstood the conversation. But you said that he's bringing the ship out on Thursday?
Yeah, it's a private event
Test
that we've been
today?
invited to next Thursday.
Next Thursday.
It's a private event we've been invited to, and actually we have to figure out, because we're usually in production on Thursday nights.
At what
So-
time?
So they said, well, it's 6:30 to 8, I think. It's Cheeseburger in Paradise, private event. It'd be kind of cool. The news is going to be there. It's going to be big. So they asked if we wanted to cover it on their end.
We should. I just gotta figure out what to do with the 6:30. But yeah,
And the 7 and the 7:30. We had to figure that all out.
we just gotta figure it out.
And maybe Slick, see what he's doing. I was actually, Slick was actually, well, maybe Slick wants to come do this next Thursday night.
Yeah.
There's a private event we were invited to up in Delray Beach. Apparently, it's the Jimmy Buffett concert up in Old School Square.
Really? That's nice.
So we were invited to the private event to kick it off.
It's Margarita Sundays. What is it?
Margaritas, son.
Cheeseburger in
that-
Paradise, Margaritaville.
Margarita.
So it's cheeseburgers and margaritas. And of course, we were asked, since we have a GUBBA sponsor, that perhaps we would like to be the GUBBA donation sponsor for the event.
For children?
No.
What the hell are you talking about? It's
For
a pirate
adults.
ship. Now you are at
It's an adult party on a pirate ship.
Oh, sure.
It's an adult party on a
An
pirate
adult-
ship.
It went right over his head. Just
adult party.
This is what happens when I don't talk to you for a
right
few
over his
hours.
head.
An adult
The
party.
world changes when Freddie and I don't talk for a couple hours. It goes upside down.
I would just want to go there with a camera to find out how adults party on a pirate ship.
Yes, Captain. Tell me about that. Is all I can tell you. So I was reading an article, guys, that apparently millennials, now how our generation, no one ever talks about what they make because it's like this taboo subject. You don't share what your salary is.
I never heard that.
Really? You tell people what you make?
I don't know what I make. I make up the
Millennials
number.
have changing that whole mindset, and it's now an open venue of conversation.
It's always been an open venue. If you don't make any money, it says I don't make any money. I make $1 an hour.
Why do you think it's an open venue?
Because everybody wants $15 an hour now.
Well, that is true.
That's the topic of conversation. Now,
They say millennials make significantly less than Gen X. And
Yeah, we're
some
back
is
to
due
this
to life choices and some is due to external factors.
well, I'm going to wipe all that as malarkey. Let me tell you what's going on. The United States of America has a shortage of help. There is more people right now needed. There's a hotel in Cape Cod. They talked about Cape Cod today. It needs 400 employees. Can't get it. There's another one in Cape Cod that needed 227 people. Can't get it. Rocco's Taco in West Palm Beach needs 49 people. Can't get it.
They couldn't open yesterday because they have no staff.
But let me tell you what the problem is. When the pandemic started, we wanted to keep people home. So they came up with this ridiculous amount of money through unemployment. So if you were working, they want to keep you home, so they're going to give you all this money, right? Then along the road, they came up with the shot, things starts to get better. You got to wait till it runs its course in September. Ain't nobody going to run back to work for less money than staying home on unemployment, filling out an application and saying, look, I filled out an application, but they didn't take me. What they should do is cut back the unemployment now, and then you get people back to work. But if you do that, it's not
Oh,
fair.
even Taylor's agreeing with that.
But that's the problem. Business people right now, in September, watch what happens. It's going to flip the script. So there's this guy in Cape Cod who needs 249 people. They asked him, what are you going to do to bring in workers? Oh, we're going to give them more money. You're going to match unemployment? Right? Are you going to be able to match unemployment as a business and continue to, it'll cost you $10 for a loaf of bread? Allegedly. And here's where it gets funky. If your profit margin is X and you have to increase the price of your product, are you going to settle to make less, or are you going to pass the buck to cover the
Well,
cost?
that's what happens. It's a small profit margin on food, like for ice cream, right? How much are people really willing to spend on a scoop or two of ice cream? At
You know
what
how
point?
many scoops you got to make to make a
Right.
living? It's not easy. And what people just don't seem to understand is that it was built to keep you home. It's working. People staying home.
People are staying home.
Here's my paycheck on unemployment and his job. I don't know. What do you think I'm going to do? Seriously? So nobody wants to work right now. And I found out that people are applying so they could, because unemployment says you have to look for a job. Well, I look for a job.
Yeah, we just found that out. It said you have to, I guess if you're on unemployment, you have to say that you're applying to jobs. and that they don't call you back or there's not a return or something.
Which
I didn't
unemployment
realize
laws
that.
is a lie, because there's so much work. You throw a rock and there's a job. Everywhere I go, hiring. Talk to the people in these places and they'll tell you. Nobody wants to work because unemployment is so. I remember when Amit came in here and said, on top of unemployment, they're giving you $600 a week.
Yep.
It was like $1,000 a week to stay home, which was great. I mean, why not? With the pandemic, you don't want to go to work, right? But now
Now it's
become
different.
a dilemma. So now X and Y's, now they're going to want $15 an hour, and rightfully so, they deserve it. But can businesses survive in there with the profit margin, the taking and all that? Can you do it?
Ask our ice cream person.
I mean, your dad would probably say, I don't even want to talk about it because it's something very sensitive, right?
Yeah, like September it's supposed to go up to 10 and he's already like, doesn't know what to do about it.
Right?
And he's not alone. And he's not alone with you. What I came up with is to have a job incentive program. So let's say you're going to hire the kids, right? And you're going to say, listen, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you this salary, and then come September, October, November, I'm going to give you a percentage of the profit. So let's say that there's $1 profit. So every kid in here gets 10 cents on the dollar or something. Something creative, because you can't afford what they want. It ain't going to happen.
Well, that's the thing. You got to run a business, but you can't afford it because it's a pandemic and people don't have any money. But yet some people, it's a whole, as I'm reading this, ideas of the day, learn to pivot.
Well, pretty much the cost of living is just going to go up exponentially. I mean, I have a friend who lives in Massachusetts where the minimum wage is like $14.97 or something. And I asked him, I'm like, okay, but it's fairly expensive to live there, is it not? And he's like, yeah, to go anywhere, it's really expensive. So that's pretty much what's going to happen here. I mean, over the course of the years, it's just going to go up and we're going to be stuck at the same place as we were.
That's right. It's going to cost you more money to buy something because everybody's making more money. It's the same difference, like people buy stuff from China.
But not everyone's going to be making more money. As a business owner, you're not, because you have to now pay your employees. So now as a business owner, you and I were just talking about this, taking in less money. Do you keep a business open and not make the money because you're keeping the business open to pay your employees? At what point what do you do?
Well, to buy this bell from China costs $9.96. $9.96 from China. If you have this bell made in the United States, it'll cost $19.27. Okay, so who am I going to buy it from? It's a bell.
That's a fact.
Okay, and it isn't a bad reason. In the United States, things are more expensive because people make a living. In China, a bowl of rice and $1 will get you a bell. I mean,
But even business here, PPP money has run out again.
yeah.
Right, I saw that they've kept some small lenders open for minorities and women-owned business. If you can find those small lenders, not the big lenders, so it's a whole thing for the next couple weeks. They've run out of money on that. I don't know what's happening with unemployment. Businesses staying open, not staying open. But then there are people that have continued to make good money. So there's this great divide. It's still a bigger divide than ever.
Listen, my contingency with all of this was stay open, keep going, and create. And now we're at a point where people who have stayed open, who have provided services to the community, are having a hard time finding workers, and they feel gypped. And I feel horrible about that. I mean, your dad needs workers, right? And he stayed open, right? And he offered a service, and he offered employment, and he offered, and he offered. And here he is now stuck in the tidy bowl, and it's not fair. And I 100% agree with this thing.
Well, how many interns have we called to bring people in?
I have interns telling me I'll come in tomorrow at 9 o'clock, telling
Probably
me what
50?
time. And I
And
said,
we have-
okay, and they don't show up.
50, and I think we got 2, Riley and Bianca.
Yep.
And because Amy met Teresa. Out of all the people you and I have called,
Riley, yes, right.
right? 2.
And there's over 179 in there on that list if you look at it.
And Bianca says to me, what do I need to do to get this job? How many do you have? Probably 179, but they don't show up.
And the funny thing is that the window is open. So if we can get the kids to learn this faster, we can open up. We went down to Murphy House yesterday.
Yeah.
I would love to be opening up a studio down there with them and collaborating and doing what we do. We don't have the manpower to do it.
I got to tell you, their family is amazing. They're 4 girls, artists and authors, and incredible what they do. Right, Slip?
Yeah, they
Did you enjoy it? The artwork, incredible, amazing.
It's very nice. And then we've had people came in here yesterday that want to do pine and this and that and drinking and stuff games. And I mean, you name it. Everybody has ideas, but you need manpower to do it.
Yes.
You know, you need places to be able to do it. All of a sudden, you can't get deliveries because you can't get the goods. There's a guy who is trying to hire workers to pick the fruit off the trees to make jams and everything else, and he doesn't have it. So he applied for 129 immigrants legally, right? Because this wall and all this other crap going on with this, he wants them here legally, right? So everything's shut down. They just opened up the Dominican Republic, he said, some other country, maybe it's Panama, I don't know, 3 countries. And the guy is like, thank you, Lord, thank you. So what did he do? He spent all this money to get these families over legally. Because would you want to work in the field picking apples for any of these college graduates? You want to go pick apples for a living? Won't do it. My father used to tell me that. He says, you're in there while you graduate. You want to go pick apples? No, Dad, I don't
You
want
used
to do
to say
that.
that to us also.
But the problem is that the immigrant worker is the one that does the stuff Americans don't want to do. And that's a fact, Jack. And you can argue with me until the cows come home. Even people, I know politicians that say no immigration, and you go to their house and they have Conchita who's here. Sometimes it's not legal. You know it's true. You know it's true.
There's a lot of things.
And you know it's true. You know it. And the bottom line here is if you can't walk that line, don't draw it. Don't draw the line.
This looks funny.
I got it.
We got major problems coming.
I won't draw the line.
Why?
Because we are not going to be able to get things moving with the way we set it up.
Well, you guys are young, a whole nother generation. You and I are already old, in business. We see the world from,
What is it with you guys? What do you got, a bird in your pocket? Well, I'm not old. I got a business to run. I got
We're running
problems.
business. They are fresh-eyed and dreamers and creatives. What do you all see for business and what you want to do?
For business, like, what do you mean exactly?
What do you want to do in life? Do you see changes, possibility,
change?
financial stress?
How would you handle the situation?
The situation right now, I mean, if I was the guy with the apple orchard?
Yeah.
Or like this.
Let's
Okay,
start
so
there. That's good.
So, well, first of all, I mean, you're not incorrect. The people that, I mean, why would any college graduate be like, oh, I don't want to go pick apples? That's stupid. But people are right. I mean, there are a lot of people who are immigrants and they don't speak perfect English, which is true. And they'll be like, I will 100% go pick those apples. Like, I need to feed my family. And they'll be out there for hours and hours. I mean, look at construction workers. Those guys are out there. They're freaking working as hard as they can because they know, like, this is the job that I can get. I'm going to make the most of it. I'm going to get my paycheck, and I'm going to go home and pay my kids. Like, yeah, maybe I did go to college in Mexico, and I got, like, a PhD. But, like, right now, because I can't speak English or because I'm struggling, I need to do this and set aside my pride. I think Americans are very prideful, and I think that's one of the downfalls. I understand, like, you should know your worth. Like, you should really know what you're worth. However, there are times where you need to step back and say, hey, like, maybe I do need to do construction, or maybe I need to go work at this place for minimum wage or waiter's wage for a year or two while I still refine my skills and come back and figure out, like, maybe I'm not built for this, or hey, maybe I really like this and I want to take it a step forward and become the owner of my own construction site or something like that.
Well, people that speak little English and stuff that come over are going to take these jobs. And here we go again. This is what happened 4 or 5 years ago when everybody says, oh, immigrants come in here and they take all the jobs. But they're taking the jobs, nobody wants them.
Nobody's going for it.
And nobody's going for them. Look at them now. Now you got nice paying jobs, but you'd rather stay home and unemployment. That game is going to end. When that game ends, you're going to see a rush of everybody fighting to get that job. $15 or not, they're just going to fight to get it. Because you're going to need
I
to
don't think the
sustain.
$15 thing's going to stick, by the way. Tell your dad.
I think
don't
it's good. I think
Seriously?
it's
I
going to.
thought they passed the bill.
No,
They
they
did.
didn't.
Yeah, but
They
they-
got deferred.
Yeah, but it's deferred on 2024, 25,
No,
26.
I think it went back. I think they took it off.
They took it off because
I
like
gotta
it was
see
not
that. I
gonna
don't
go,
know.
it was not gonna go through.
It
Like
was
they
not
took
going
it
through.
off.
Yeah, and I read and I was thinking of your dad because employers are like, we can't do this. We can't run a business and do what we need to do.
Well, maybe you
So
can't do it now.
They modified that bill, didn't they, Slug?
Yeah, they modified it. They took that out. They took several
Are
stuff
you
out.
sure?
I'm so
I'm gonna have to
I'm
Google
I was
so
reading it the
serious,
other
yeah.
day.
I just
Actually,
wish they would raise the wage for teachers.
Yeah,
That I
most
think that they
definitely.
definitely need to
Teachers.
do.
amen to that. We saw
Yes.
that this week,
See,
right?
the problem is that there are so many teachers that $1 just like blows up the budget. But you're absolutely right. I think that teachers, this thing about the shot, they are first responders like a grocery clerk.
Correct.
Without these people, the economy doesn't work because
At every level.
teachers are a giant. Let me take care. I don't want to call them babysitters because that's an ugly term.
But
But
your kids are get out of the house. They go to school. You can then go to work, which
That's
means
right.
you can make money.
That's
It's
right.
huge.
well, now
Yeah.
employers have another problem. The workers don't want to go into the office. They don't want to go back. I don't want to go and hang out with them 5 guys that hang out who knows where.
It's interesting. Do your parents work from home or they go into an office?
My dad works out on like construction. He works on construction sites, so he's driving all around all the time. And then my mom is remote, but she does have to go back in June.
Okay,
this
so
is-
things are changing.
Well, this is what's happening. People have to get back into the office.
And your parents are in the office, essentially. I mean, the stores and the schools, but your parents are in person.
Yeah, for the most. Yeah, my mom goes in pretty much every day and decorates cakes, and my dad goes into school every day.
How about you, Slick? What's your mom up to?
Oh,
She going in?
she's essential worker, so she's been going in. I know
She's
that.
a nurse, ain't she?
Yeah, she's been going in.
And Chuck is a doctor, and Linda's a social worker. They gotta go.
Everybody's
They
going
got no
in.
choice. And it's funny because I hear the horror stories about when they come home about they don't have a choice to say, okay, I'm gonna go stand on this side of the building. You gotta be where you gotta be.
Most definitely.
I know people that work with Linda that passed. They died working there because of this whole epidemic thing. I don't want to hear anybody's nonsense about it. I got my own. I seen it with my own eyes. But what do? You know, how do you get back into the flow of things?
You think positive.
But okay, but how far is that gonna get you?
It's the only
Wow.
thing you can hold on to.
I mean, like, you just saw my bubble, but it's okay.
You know the
You gotta
conversation you and
think
I had
positive.
this morning
Which one?
about keeping a business open and the finances and,
Yeah.
and what you need to do.
Yes.
All you can do is keep going and think positive and just say the universe and God has brought us this far for a reason.
Most
and
definitely.
Listen.
in my mind, I have to have faith that it will
Okay.
all continue to be. Otherwise, I could get consumed and get sucked down the rabbit
Well,
hole.
I got you. You know, we've been here a year and 4 months. January,
Year and a
February,
half,
March,
yeah.
April, May, 4 months. A year and 4 months we've been here, not a year and a half. Because we came in November, no?
Yeah.
All right, so let's say a year and 5 months. And we lost a year. So that year and 5 months really stretches down to 5 months because we lost the year
A building.
of everything. You know, everything was shut down. We had a game plan going in, and all of that has gone away. Now you have a new game plan because you got to play the psych job. You got to wait until everybody else is ready to jump on board to come in and do things. In the last few weeks, that's happened little by little. You know, more people are getting more comfortable. So it's like starting over, right? So you're going to have to look at it like starting over. So I know you've been tired for the year and a half that we've been dealing with this mess. I get it. Take a deep breath, get yourself a cup of coffee, and start again. And brush it off and say, okay, let's go. January 1st, today is the beginning of a new
Como
year.
estamos, negro? Is that what you say?
¿Cómo estamos, negro? So can you do that mentally?
Do what? Keep going?
Start new. This is a new day. Today's the new day.
We have to.
No. That's not the answer. We have to is no choice. You have choice. Can you do it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
We do it every day.
most definitely.
But this is what I'm asking.
But do you make decisions based on data, the science and the numbers, or belief of your convictions that you can do it? I know your answer.
No, I believe you're going to take some of the data in there, but I think this is about the data. I think that now you're dealing with human characteristics.
What do you think?
I don't. Wait, can you repeat the question?
Can you carry on? Tommy's calling.
When you make a decision, do you make a decision on data, on the science of, I'm going to keep my ice cream store open because I bring in X amount and this is what it is? Is it analytical or is it belief that it's going to be okay.
I think in the end you gotta go on data. Like, that's what makes the most sense in my mind.
Wait, you too, Bianca?
I think data, because you're not just supporting yourself, you're supporting a family, you're supporting the people who are also working for you. And it's like, do you go bankrupt because you're thinking, oh, I might be able to do, or do you see the data and you go, hey, maybe this location is not it for me, or hey, like, this ice cream flavor that I've been making for 10 years, no one really likes it. I'm wasting a lot of energy and a lot of produce on it. So I think that the analytical, it's a logical explanation. I mean, you have to go with the data because it would be selfish to go with your gut feeling. However, there are also times where you just kind of know, where you say, you know, even if I'm having a hard time, like something is telling me I have to go on. But there are also those moments where even though you think you might make it, it's just there's too much on the line to continue going on.
So you revamp maybe. You believe
Yeah.
what you believe in. You keep, maybe the ice cream store stays open, but maybe that flavor goes away. Maybe you change your
Revamp,
coffee
yeah.
flavor. The buying ideas.
Don't be
things
afraid
that
to
you
try
purchase.
something new to keep something old open.
Slick?
Oh, I'll say you go by faith, but you gotta be you have to consider the data while you go by faith, because like as humans we can overcome all, and the fact that you did start a business, and I'm talking about for new business owners, the fact that you reached a threshold to start a business, you shouldn't think as the pandemic being like the end of your business. So I say go by faith.
It's a good point.
Yeah.
You know, the Mets fired Chili Davis,
Oh my gosh,
the batting instructor.
Oh no.
And Chili Davis was once, 2 years ago, the man. He taught the Mets to hit. He taught them to hit. This is his label. And they fired him because the Mets are not hitting. And the players said, you know, Chili had this philosophy of faith or analytics. And I never knew what that meant. How do you have analytics in baseball? So you sort of figure out analytics in baseball.
Yeah, of course.
How many
That's the whole
hits,
game.
misses,
No, not
strikes?
even that. They talk about the pitcher has a count, 1 ball, no strikes. He's going to throw 90% of the time he throws a fastball.
Well, yeah.
So you got to remember all
That's
these
scouting.
numbers as a baseball player. Well, how the hell are you going to go up there and remember all this crap? So you ever see them out of the box and they're looking up at the stars? They're trying to figure out the count, wind velocity, sunlight, day or night. They got all this data that they remembered. He's probably going to throw a fastball. Then the guy goes up there, he throws a curveball, and you're looking for a fastball, you miss it, right? So I think that analytics works to a certain degree, that it gives you a foundation, but you have to have instinct. You got to sort of rely on what you feel, right? So let's say that you have somebody go in and does a show, and it's a tough show. It's a tough show for you and I. Have been doing this there's the analytics for 6 years. It's a tough show to do. So are they prepared mentally, physically, and emotionally right now to do it? And therein goes the feel, not the analytics. So it's tough right now. We're in the midst of a change again in this whole thing.
Because people pushed last year to stay open, to do what they had to do, to get their monies in, to keep it open for a year. And now you reassess and you look and go, all right, now I've got the next year. There's no more free money.
What do
Where
I do
is
now?
business? What do I do now?
How do I bring in customers? How do I get in product? How do I keep the doors open? Do I work with FPO? Con Edison in New York, FPO here. What do I do? Do I do more work with other companies? Remember that time I told you that there was 4 companies in a mall?
Yep.
And they all went out and I saw them. I says, well, why don't you guys open the biggest store, all 4 of you? And they got it done. And they're still open.
No, and also like there's been like businesses that opened up in the pandemic. Like my favorite taco spot, Fish Joint. Fish Joint opened up for a year, honestly a year ago during the pandemic, and they had faith that they were gonna do something, but they just didn't know. Like analytics told them like they were not gonna make any money. I was talking to like the cashier and one of the
Did they
cooks.
close?
No, they didn't close. They're still good. Their business is booming at Fish Joint. Yeah.
And you know why? Because they've been open the longest. So when the drips and drabs started at the beginning, now you go there because you know they're open.
Yeah.
And boom. And that was the philosophy that we told people, stay open because you're going to probably be the only ones open right now. And it worked. It worked for a lot of people. Now the competition is going to start opening May 19th. Everybody's going to open
Why May 19th?
because that's the day that a lot of states are going to reopen. DeSantis jumped on that and he says no more mask mandates are going to happen June 1st.
July 1st or something? Maybe it's
July
June
1st? It's June 1st, I think.
Maybe.
But you can't mandate people to wear masks anymore after June 1st. Now, there's a lot of debate as to whether that, if you have a business and you want people to wear masks, you ask them to wear masks. And you cannot ask people after June 1st whether they got a shot. That's a new one.
Shock confidentiality.
Yeah,
and-
no, they don't want you to discriminate against the non-shotters. For lack of a better word, that's
Say that
what
one
it
more
is.
time.
All you can say is do what's right and safe for you. So I see there one of the cruise ships is going out with volunteer cruisers. So people aren't paying to go on the cruise.
I'm in.
How are they making money?
And not. Do you know how much a ship makes on one cruise?
I don't know, not that much. Maybe.
Billions.
Oh, just kidding. That's all.
My cousin works for the cruise line. She says, yeah, we could hang out for another 10 years without a ship going out. They make money. But it is expensive. There's a lot of flamboyancy that goes on a cruise ship. And I gotta tell you something, being on a little tugboat, the big boat, there's a lot of germs on there because the ocean breeds it.
So do people.
And then the people enhance it. It's stinky
It's like
on
putting
a
your
boat.
kids in. My kids were little, I would take them to these fast food places in the ball pits. When you guys are growing, you know the ball pits around here and the
Of
playthings
course.
and all the chutes and ladders stuff. The germs in those things. Do your grandkids go to that stuff?
Yeah.
Imagine having to clean that stuff
I
down.
had to wear socks to Rowan's birthday party.
Why do you have really white feet?
No, so you can wash them. Your feet don't feel the germs.
No, I got green feet. No, that wasn't the reason because the place requires you
Oh, to wear
to wear
socks.
I
socks.
thought maybe you had like ugly feet or
No,
something.
I got beautiful feet. I got sexy magazine feet. But anyway, I'm the only one that wore white socks. Yes, magazine.
What color socks did everyone else wear?
Black.
Why?
Well, think about it. Now that I think about it, it's because
you
you
don't
don't
see
want to
the
wear
dirt?
white socks on the bottom. They get dirty, yeah. So I took off my black socks. I put on my white.
But wait, if you wear black socks or white socks, the same dirt is going to be on your feet. You're just not going to see it.
Yeah,
But you
this
still
is
gotta
a-
wash the
this is
socks.
a visual
It's a
effect.
psychological thing, but you
Yeah,
still gotta
correct.
wash
It's
the,
the
socks
socks,
when you
yeah.
go home.
So I took off. I had black socks on, and I put on these little
Glad he laughs.
ankle biters, and I had white socks on, right? And then I took them off and I threw them in the garbage.
Yes,
So you just wasted a pair of socks.
That's right.
You just wasted a pair of socks. Wow.
but it's all of
Do you
the.
think I'm taking that home
And washing it? Yes.
and washing it and contaminate my house? And the washing machine.
Put it in the
No.
bag. Put it in
Would
the
you go on
bag.
a cruise ship
No.
as a volunteer?
No.
Would you guys go for a free cruise?
Yeah, I don't care. Let's do it. Woohoo.
I'm
Free
bad
cruise.
with boats, so-
You're bad with, but you get seasick.
Yeah.
Slick.
Yeah, same with boats. Like drinking and what is it? Being on a boat. It doesn't really work out good for me.
When you go to a baseball or football game, when
Yeah.
you go to a stadium for free and not knowing what's around you, if it was sold
Oh,
out
what is it?
capacity.
Is it if they do the social distance? If they're doing it right
No, no
now,
social
yeah, I'll
distance. No
go.
social
Oh no, never
You
mind.
wouldn't
No,
do it? Would
no.
you do it?
Do
No
what?
social distance? An
If
event?
they're doing it the same way
Well,
they're
I
doing it.
mean, like, I know a lot of kids who are going out clubbing and there is they're like inches apart. And then they're fine. But however, I'm also not a fool. I wouldn't be able to do that. I would be a little nervous. I'd be nerve wracking, but I would also like try and keep my distance if I knew like this is it. Like this is super unsafe. I would just head on out. But I mean, it doesn't hurt to go try. Because what about all the other people who are thinking, man, like
Yeah, but
I'm not
do you-
gonna go. You show
But
up
do
to
you
the
live
end.
your life with other people? I had a picture sent to me January 1st, New Year's Eve,
day.
Oh my God.
January 31st, at midnight. Somebody sent me a picture, right?
Yes.
And I look at my phone and I go, that's slick. At a club.
Yeah.
He was at a club jumping up and down like he does, with no mask.
Doppelganger.
With no mask. No, you didn't. I have the pictures. You want me to put them up? I'll post them. No mask. And the guy behind him, which I'm going to keep nameless, ended up getting sick.
Dang.
That's all I got to say.
You know, the thing is, a family member of mine, she got very, very sick. She was in bed 10 days, really sick. I didn't know what to do. Her kids, she tested positive. Her kids, fine, but they tested positive.
Yeah.
No symptoms, not even a stuffy nose, absolutely nothing. So Who gave who what? Nobody knows. But when you said their friends are fine, sometimes the young people are 100% fine. But it's who. That's what we said here all the time. All of our crew, I don't know where you live, but they all live with family. Slicks was with his mom, you live with your parents, Teddy lives with her parents, Val was living with her family. We tried to keep everyone as safe as possible because they weren't going back to a dorm room. They were going home to older people, parents, grandparents, as Freddie says, things of that nature. It's a Freddieism.
Well, the funny thing is, if you get sick, you got to stay away until you get a double negative to come back. And it isn't discrimination. Nobody knows anything. I don't know whether we're right, wrong, and indifferent. You could be in a room 100 people, inches apart, nobody gets sick. Go to Publix and you walk by somebody and you get sick. That's what a virus is.
I always say it's just stay safe, what you got to do. But the data versus belief, it's a whole new, now businesses, you're looking at businesses differently again.
Because they don't want to believe the data, they want to do the belief thing. Data will tell you it's too early, it's too this, it's too that. Listen, I get it. You know, the bottom line is nobody wants to stay home anymore. I get it. I get it. But then I look at the stories of India. Oh my God.
I was talking to Dia today, and she said it is just shut down.
Forget about shut down. That country is never gonna come back from this.
It'll come back, but right now they're shut down, so anyone who's working is home.
Did you see how people are dying in the street?
Oh yeah.
There was a lady, the newscasters were rolling film, and she was begging for oxygen. She couldn't breathe. She died right in front of them. And nobody would help her. I mean, wow. I got to tell you, and because they have 1 billion people and they're getting sicker and sicker and sicker by the day, it's like wildfire there now. And the hospitals can't keep up with the demand. I don't care what countries go in there. And the United States is sending aid. They wanted to send the military in there. Military don't want to go. This is like a contagious bacteria. And when you catch it, you don't know if you're going to have it in your body for the next 10, 20 years. You don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, that long haulers, it's a lot of stuff going on. So what do? Grab a bag of Brooklyn Cafe Show coffee, some Gubba rum, some Lost Harbor, have a drink,
and go quietly in the night.
And just keep on going. We got a lot of shows coming out of the studio today. We've got Transatlantic Media Network. We've got Brazilian Style with the tilapia, with Marley coming in.
Marley,
Normally you've got 3. I don't know who the third one is today. Taylor did hers the other day. There's a third one coming out. Bianca's putting her show together, which will be hilarious, by the way.
What is the show?
WWQBD, What Would Queen Bee Do? It's an advice segment / my life.
You don't want to miss this, baby.
Coming to you soon. Have a great morning, everyone. Stay safe, and we'll see you in a little bit.
And don't be late.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to the morning show. As I go now to fill my mug, which is completely empty, I'm coffeeed out.
Your cup runneth over.
No, company dry.
Have a great morning, everyone. Stay safe, be kind to each other. Tune in for all of our other morning shows coming from Ant Media Productions, and then our afternoon show at 12 o'clock.
And always join us for more fun and laughs, because, you know, your day starts when you smile.
Have a great morning, and we'll see you in a little bit.
And don't be late.